Well, hello guys. It's been several weeks, I guess, since I made a video. Wanted to give you guys an update, and I also wanted to talk about something that's very important. I made a couple of videos before, and I've mentioned broadheads and things like that. But you know, a couple of weeks ago, Steve Teray with Northern Miss Longbows came out and spent a week down here with me, and we put a hurting on the hogs down here, and it was a lot of fun. I was not about to turn it into some kind of a video log or anything. I didn't want to do that. I wanted us just to enjoy the ranch and hang out and shoot and hunt and stuff like that. So, but we had a great time, and plenty of animals left here either dead or limping. So that's all I was trying to do. It worked out great. Anyway, had a subscriber ask a question a while back. Matter of fact, I talked to him on the phone here just a day or two ago. And it actually, the phone call I had with him was kind of a segue into this video, because I'd had this question before, and people were asking about what kind of broadheads you use, you know, which one's the best, and you know, what broadhead would I use if I was doing this, and asking questions and stuff like that. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to try to make it not a 30-minute video. I'm going to try to make this pretty short and sweet. The title says something about, let's have a talk about the best broadhead in the world. In my opinion, the best broadhead in the world is the one that's on the front of your arrow and it's sharp. That's the best one in the world. Me personally, I have several reasons why I use the broadheads that I use, because number one, they're tough. Number two, they're easy to sharpen. And number three, they do their job. Apologize if you're getting a bunch of wind noise. I'm sitting on a Sendero. The wind's blowing right down this Sendero right here. But anyway, there's several ways to look at what kind of broadhead you want to shoot. Okay. Me personally, I like a broadhead that I can carry into the woods. I can take my little file, sharpen that son of a gun a little bit on both sides, just razor sharp my hunt with it, and it's deadly. Okay. The other side of the coin of that is that broadhead is a little bit softer than some of the other broadheads. And people say, well, if you get that type broadhead razor sharp or like a razor blade, if it hits a bone or if it hits something else or whatever, it rolls the edge over. Well, yeah, it may do that. I don't know. I've seen all kinds of damage to different broadheads in different situations. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have these broadheads that are honed to a microscopic razor edge that would, just literally will shave. And, those broadheads are $15, $20, $30 a piece. Okay. The broadheads I typically hunt with, like Ace or Zwickies or Grizzlies or anything like that, they're $35, $40 for 6 of them. And they're just as deadly as any other broadhead in the world, as far as I'm concerned. It just depends on you if you take the time to sharpen it correctly. Now, this video is intended not to knock anybody's broadhead. Okay, what the video is intended to do is to show you, try to talk about the issues with both. Okay, see what I got here. This is one of my arrows right here, and this is an Ace, 160 grain. I think it's 160. I'm pretty sure it's 160 grain broadhead, and it's sharp. Sharpened with a file. Takes seconds, 2 minutes tops to sharpen it up and be lethal to hunt with. Okay, these are $37, $40, whatever, for 6 of them. All right. What I also have in my quiver, Here's one right here, I think. This is in a Bowyer broadhead, 175 grain, single bevel, okay, left wing. My feathers are left wing, but these broadheads are not twice as much. They're, they're, I forget, $65 or something, $60 for 3 of them. Okay. But you can still sharpen this broadhead with a file. All right. So I don't have what you would consider what you would call my favorite broadhead. Okay. What I have is broadheads that I know are very structurally sound. They're easy to sharpen. I can sharpen them with a file. When I go into the woods and I shoot this broadhead into the ground, if I miss a rabbit or whatever it is I'm shooting at it with, I'll stop for 30 seconds and I get in my quiver right here. I got a little Nicholson file right here. I can take that right there. A few strokes on one side, one light stroke on the other side, do the same thing on the other side of the blade, and that broadhead's ready to hunt with again. What you want to try to avoid is getting yourself in a position where you got to carry an entire machine shop around with you to sharpen your broadheads. And what I mean by that is the broadheads that I'm talking about, Zwickey, Ace, Bear broadheads, all these other broadheads that we're used to shooting with, or the older broadheads or older brand names or whatever. That's exactly what they were intended to do. They used them in the field and they took a file and sharpened them. So the steel is a little bit softer. It's not soft, but it's a little bit softer where it's easy enough to sharpen it with a file and make it razor sharp and deadly sharp to hunt with. Okay. And then on the very far end of the spectrum over there, you have these other broadheads. They like to have, whether it's a single bevel, double bevel, whatever, and I've used them. Grizzly Stick makes an awesome broadhead. They make great broadheads. I just wish they made something with glue on. Okay, they don't, but I wish they did. They're awesome broadheads, and I mean, if you there's a lot of videos on people going hunting Cape buffaloes and things like that with them. They're great broadheads. If there is what you would call a drawback to those broadheads, is they're a little bit harder, and to take a small little mill file like that to try to put an edge back on it, it seems like it wants to bounce off. So the steel is a lot harder. Okay. Plus they're $20 a piece, something like that. If that's what you want to shoot, that's great, but you're going to have a hard time recovering the edge on that broadhead if you use it out in the field. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying there is some diminishing returns with actual field use where you're actually hunting and you're shooting a lot of broadheads and you're shooting at animals all the time and stuff like that. If you want a broadhead that you can sharpen easily and what you carry with you to sharpen that, whether it's a small file or one of those little folding diamond sticks or whatever, get that broadhead sharp and go right back to hunting. Or you got a broadhead that's so hard that it takes an entire array of sharpening tools and mill tools and whatever else it takes to get them sharp. To me, the simpler is better, for the lack of a better term. I like all the broadheads that I shoot. I've got very expensive broadheads. I got price-wise, I've got the least expensive broadheads, which are Ace, and they're great. They're great broadheads. Nothing wrong with them at all. I've got Zwickey broadheads. I've got Bear razor heads. I've got all these broadheads, but the ones that I tend to use are the ones that work best for me. Okay, if you're only going to shoot 2 broadheads at an animal per year, then that's a choice you have to make. but you don't have to have something that it takes a machine shop to sharpen it. You know, these very expensive sharpening systems that they have and everything, they hone this thing down to microscopic cutting edge and all that stuff. That's great, and it's ethical. I believe in that too, but at the same time, you have to weigh what's practical for you. Me, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't think there's a best broadhead in the world for everybody. For me, the best broadhead in the world is one that I can sharpen it easy, it shoots like a dart, and it kills everything that I shoot properly with it. That's the best broadhead in the world. I like all the old school broadheads because they are proven over decades and decades and decades to be killing instruments. They've proven themselves as practicability as far as sharpening in the field, and I will not advocate change from that. Now, if you have an unlimited pocketbook and you want to go buy 2 or 3 dozen of something that costs $60, $75 for 3 of them, and they come from the manufacturer, Razor Sharp or whatever, and you wanted to buy yourself 10 dozen of those, and that's what you went with, that's entirely up to you. But you got to make up your own mind on that. So I'm a South Texas bow hunter. Been bow hunting my whole life. I know what works for me. You guys got to make the decision what works for you. And I hope that this makes it a little bit of sense. I'm trying not to turn these videos into lectures, but I want to point out facts. You know, there's a lot of comments on the internet about what's best for you. And for you guys that don't have quite as much experience or whatever, please just keep this in mind. And I've said this in all of my videos. I've said this. Just keep all this in mind, and you make up your own mind what works best for you, and then go with it. That's the whole key here. And be confident when you go in the woods of what you got in your bag, or if it's a back quiver, or I've got, you know, different types of quivers and stuff like that. Whatever you got in your quiver, as long as you're confident with it, that you know that you can kill with it, that's what you need to hunt with. So anyway, I'm gonna get off my little soapbox here, and I'm gonna sit here and watch this sendero for a little while and just see if I can see any animals moving around. And I'm planning on trying to hunt a little bit tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe I might get lucky and shoot a hog or something. And if I do, I'll make another video or whatever, and we'll go from there. But anyway, you guys, I hope this made some sense, and I hope this helped somebody. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll be making some more videos maybe this weekend. We'll see what happens. Y'all have a great evening.